What the hell does got to do with the fight game? I have no idea.
Well, The Matrix does have a lot of great fight scenes
That is true.
historically. And they even got a
That is true.
MTV Movie Award for best fight scene. I think the first movie.
Don't listen to the internet. Part 2 and 3 are fire, and they have a lot of Dragon Ball Z fight scenes. And you gotta love Agent Smith and Neo going at it in the middle of the sky, falling down to the ground. So I guess it does have something to do with the fight game.
Watch it down! Oh my goodness.
Me personally, as a kid, because this movie came out a long time ago, I didn't really understood fully part 2, and I definitely did not understand 3. It threw me off. I thought it didn't make any sense. But now that I'm older and I understand the internet better, and this is the information age, so I think now rewatching those movies, because part 4 is coming out, I understand it, and now I love 2 and 3.
Am I getting through to you?
I had the exact same experience. I almost felt like I was watching the series for the action and the bullets and the slow motion. I wasn't really watching it for the intricate story that it brought to us, and it actually has a story of love, human values. It's so amazing when you really dig down, and it's so exciting to now dive into Matrix Resurrection with you guys. Because, man,
there's a lot of Easter eggs. There's a lot of things going on.
It looks like we're seeing a rehash of the first Matrix, or a series of the Matrix events that we've seen so far. So
it could be the 7th version, because you remember the architect explained that was the 6th version, and then at the end of 3, everything restarted after Agent Smith crashed. It looked like everything restarted. So this could be the 7th version. This could be the 100th version. We really don't know.
Absolutely. So let's
dive
get straight into this trailer.
Thomas?
So right away we know that it is
right
Thomas Anderson.
I've had dreams that weren't just dreams.
Wow.
So basically it looked like Neo is back to being asleep.
You're actually going to see right now the machines trying to reconnect him to the Matrix.
And they're fixing him up.
Fixing him up.
Look like he's bleeding, and they're repairing him. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see the burnt eyes from part 3. So this is actually very much connected to the last trilogy. This is not like a remake or anything. You can also see a bunch of these scenes that remind you of the original. This scene looks completely just taken from the Matrix 1 and the Found Trinity. So this is what I'm referring to as the deja vu. You just saw the cat. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much to dive into, but...
Oh, you just saw him again, not to keep on rewinding it, but you just saw him in the pod again. Damn, let me catch it. Oh, look. A beautiful shot of his eyes burn. Yeah,
so that's basically at the end of 3, when he looked like he died, they took him in, repaired him because they need him. Essentially, they need him. He helped the Matrix restart itself and defeat Agent Smith.
This is exactly where I wanted to pause it, because you can actually see he is coming out of the Matrix in this movie as well. So I know a lot of people are like,
oh, it could be a memory of the first one. Because it does look like memories. As you see memories.
It's modern day.
But he's with a therapist, and the therapist claps his hands, so he could just be remembering the past.
He said he's having dreams that feel like...
Yeah, and those dreams could be his real memories. That's why they don't feel like dreams. But he's asleep, so he doesn't know. He feels something's not right, yeah.
Sure. Remember that was a huge portion of the trilogy. The fact that machines were trying to feel like humans, and now in this era, humans are becoming like robots. So let's see if this movie can incorporate.
We don't use that word in here.
Crazy.
The rubber duck coding.
That's a key right there. They're meeting for the first time. Look at me, man. The human touch.
And he's taking blue pills. The blue pills keeping him asleep. And the light, and look, everybody got the cell phones. The machines took over. He's throwing the pills out. Oh, who's that? Hold on. Is that the Oracle?
It looks like the Oracle.
It also could be the little girl in
I'm
part
saying, I
3.
believe she may have been.
She might be the new
training
Oracle.
program. She may have been the next Oracle she was training. That's why she was under her. I think that's what confused people. You heard? That was the confusing part. That sometimes you saw human characters, facades, and they were playing a program. You're seeing it illustrated from a human perspective, but it's a program.
Oh, another thing I noticed, she has red glasses. The other guy had blue glasses. So it's kind of give you an indication that one is working against Neo to keep him asleep, but she's working with Neo to help him. Essentially, everybody's in the Matrix in part 1. So what you're taking the pill is to wake up to the reality.
No, everybody's not in the Matrix. Morpheus and those people.
Yeah, because they took the red pill to wake up. You can't get out of the Matrix. You can only get out of the Matrix if you wake up. They go back to the Matrix, so she is a software helping him.
Well, that's what we're assuming. We don't know that. We don't know that.
We can tell that.
We cannot tell nothing. We're guessing.
Well, not guessing. There's red glasses and blue glasses, indicating the pills. So there's something there.
What do you think that was right there? So you see Morpheus here. That might not be the Morpheus that we think.
That could be a
might
software. That could be a software. It could be acting as Morpheus, because Morpheus, as we know, was a person. But there was also softwares helping him. So this time around, it might be a software playing as Morpheus, because as we know, the Oracle kept changing. Softwares.
She's the only one though.
But it does give you an indication that softwares can change, because you did see different agents in part 2 as well. So there was not just one Smith, it was also two others.
Just look at the allegory of that, what they're trying to tell you. Programs do change.
Programs can change, and they can
evolution,
and they can also take over other softwares. And then, which the Oracle explained it too. But let's not dive too much.
When you look at a Windows operating system, you got the Windows, you got the CPU, you have something running everything. Okay.
He chooses the red pill.
If you want the truth, Neo,
Yep.
you're going to have to follow me.
Reference to Alice in Wonderland.
The only
This
thing that
looks
matters to
sick.
you is still here. I know it's why you're still fighting and why you will never give up. You don't know me. No?
Another thing you haven't seen if he has holes. It's typically you can see their holes.
On the back of the neck, yeah, but that's when they're out of the Matrix. You can't see that in the Matrix. So he's in the Matrix right now. Obviously, they didn't. Yeah, that's not the original Agent Smith. He looks so big.
She's in the pot, but see, that was another part that I wanted to talk to you. If you pay attention, the two faces right next to her are not her.
Yeah,
So
it seems like different, like over there, like in the back. Yeah, it looked like.
I'm hearing a bunch of connections to video games in this movie coming up in Resurrection.
So
I'm hearing that Neo is a software. Neo was a software creator. Thomas Anderson was a software creator. So they can be playing avatars. So
essentially,
they look like is those two faces. You saw how Neo saw his old form. He saw another avatar. Yeah,
so
your vessel.
Essentially, she might not be alive. She just might be a software as well.
They might both be a software. Right?
Yeah.
They're human beings. No, they were androids. So I don't know how long they could live.
No, but in the other movies, there were people in the Matrix.
Androids, though. They had holes. They were androids. That's what they really are.
So
it's their flesh, like materialistic being. It's the robotic form. It's not this form.
Yeah, but I think they just might be softwares to reflect the people that he knew, or it could, we're gonna find out obviously when we see the movie.
Neo can't live without Trinity. He needs Trinity. That's his motivation. That wouldn't make any sense. That's why
well, that's why they have her in the movie. So as a software, he could think she's a person and really not be.
Back to the
He's asleep, dude. It's possible. No, I said not Neo. I'm talking about her,
He
Trinity.
would not be a software either. That's why when they took
She did die in part 3, so it's
he
like,
died. It looked like
so
he died
either
too.
they brought her back to life,
Right.
or she's a software reflecting that person. Because remember, she was plugged into the Matrix. They could easily duplicate her in the Matrix. So when you see her separating as different people, it's kind of like
Well, I don't know if they could duplicate it. Well,
they
remember
can.
that technology.
They can
has
duplicate
advanced,
anybody in the Matrix.
but they didn't do that. They did not duplicate Neo. What are you talking about?
They can duplicate the image and certain things because she was plugged into the Matrix many times.
That's totally. Oh yeah, they got the memories of her.
Yeah, and they basically keeping him asleep, so they might be able to
but
use
you saw
software.
in the trailer, there was a scene. I don't know exactly where, but you could actually see her in the pod. So she's alive too.
So yeah, okay. But Morpheus having a different face, he might not be in this movie. The original, he might be a software.
Right. One thing for sure about this trailer is that it's getting me excited for the franchise. Literally, this trailer got me motivated to see all 3 of the original movies. And when you watch them back to back, that's the most beneficial way to watch
I didn't actually watch part 1 again because I didn't feel like I needed to. It was really 2 and 3 that I never understood because I was a kid. I was a teenager when these movies came out. I'm gonna tell you where I started getting confused in part 2. When he went to speak to the Oracle, I didn't understand none of that shit. The Matrix will delete you, as the little girl's father said in part 3 as well. In the Matrix, if you don't have a purpose, you get deleted. So he went to speak to the Frenchman to give his daughter a purpose. And then now we see that girl, the new Oracle. It could be that little girl. The next time you see her, she's with the Oracle. So it gives you an indication that the Oracle...
Oh, that's why she said, "I'm glad you made it."
Yeah.
When she saw Neo.
Exactly. So that could be the little girl who was trained to be the new Oracle in the new version of the Matrix. A little complex, but I think if you pay attention, these are awesome movies. And part 4 is gonna be
The element that will be different in this one is the fact that video games have taken over the world. Social media has taken over the world. The internet has taken over the world. And they didn't really couldn't predict that in its future.
a little bit because in symbolically it did take over. Machines was taking over, and now it's like machines took over.
Yeah, but it's
The robots took
look
over.
at it this way. In our times, there's GPSs. There are things that the internet gives you benefits to. They didn't take advantage of that. The machines.
Well, they were detecting when people showed up and everything.
Really, they were able to hide and dip away if there was GPS.
It does have a little correlation to the future, and then now that's why this movie makes so much sense, because of the day and time that we have now with social media being so big and the computer, and people understand computers a lot more. People didn't really understand coding when this movie came out. They didn't really understand a lot of that stuff, so you make a valid point. So I think this movie is going to be even easier to understand to the younger generation versus me when I was a teenager and I seen these movies. I understood the first one, but it got more complex.
It's going to be more relatable.
It's
not going to seem foreign. It's not going to seem like some weird concept. It's something that we live with now. People know how to code at 12 years old now.
And also, it's going to have a lot of awesome fight scenes, as you've seen. But it does look different than the other movies. So I'm interested to see how these fight scenes play out too. There's gonna be a lot of action, and Neo's the one, so you're gonna see him regain that status, and yeah, it's gonna be dope. Like, comment, and subscribe, and peace out, y'all.